What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here. Once again, thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. Appreciate you stopping by. As I always like to mention to any of the newcomers that may be new to the channel that's never watched our videos here in our little small community that we're building here in Central North Carolina. I'm a DIY guy, just a do-it-yourself guy that's learned from YouTube's. Got on a lawn care plan by Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, and we continue to have success here in Central North Carolina. So thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you would consider doing so. We would appreciate you and love to have you in the comment section. Today, guys, we want to talk about one of the things that we talked about last video. We talked about 3 spring prevention tips you need to know. If you didn't check that video out, highly encourage you to go and watch that first. We're going to continue off of that with one of the things we talked about, and that is, I was in Walmart the other day, and I know the camera, I'm not able to just switch it over, but you see I got some Scott's GrubEx here. We're going to talk about the GrubEx. Man, I got these little carpenter bees. You see them behind me? Yeah. You hear that? The stinking bees are everywhere. But anyways, we're going to talk about GrubEx. We're going to go ahead and apply that to the lawn today. And it even says on the bag, we'll kind of review the bag briefly, show the active ingredient in it, and talk about GrubEx a little bit. But I need to get a mow on this, so we're going to throw in some clips of doing the mow, and then we're going to apply the GrubEx. So we'll go over the bag now. Later on, I'll be cutting the grass, and then later on, we'll get the spreader out. We'll spread it throughout the lawn. And so thank you so much for tuning in. We want to make sure we don't have grubs munching, laying eggs in our lawn, and we have a grub issue. So let's talk about the bag. Let's review it real fast, and let's apply it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, I'm going to try to do this with the stinking bees all over the place, but we're going to lay this down. But we talked about this briefly, as I mentioned in the last video. Of course, it says it's guaranteed to prevent grubs. Scott's GrubEx season-long grub killer. Remember how we talked about you have 2 types of grub treatment for your lawn. You've got reactive, which, oh my gosh, I just dug in my lawn here, you know, a couple inches down, and I'm finding white grubs everywhere. One of the things I can tell you guys that I have learned by watching some of the other lawn care experts is if you see a spot that starts to get, let's say the grass looks like it's starting to die or fade away, they say if you walk up to it and tug it, try to pull it. If it's very loose, you know, and it comes up easy, it's possible the grubs have munched your roots so much, it just, the grass, it's killed the roots, and that's why it's turning color, and that's why it will pull up easily. And then to go near that area and dig, you want to go down and dig near that and see if you find grubs in the soil. Go down a couple inches, pull the dirt up, see if you see anything that would resemble white grubs, and you'll know, okay, I've got a grub infestation, and we need to apply not this preventative control, but we would want to apply the grub killer, which is a 24-hour grub killer, which is different than this product. This product we want to prevent. As far as I know, like I said, when we were digging with this tree over here on the side, way in the back over here, my wife said it looks like a grub, and it did, but it kind of didn't at the same time. It may have been a baby grub. So anyways, we want to prevent, as we know through that cycle, as we showed the in the last video, go check it out. The cycle of grubs is to turn into June bugs, and they plant and lay their eggs around June, July timeframe. So this is season-long grub killer. Apply in spring, which is now, or early summer. So we may be a little bit early in putting this down, but I think we'll be just fine because it does say spring on the bag. And again, this is kind of what I was describing. Untreated, they munch on your roots if you're unfamiliar, and your grass begins to turn color, and you're thinking, oh, that might be fungus. And this was what I was watching. I think the Lawn Ginja, or whatever his name is, showed an example of this. He went to a home and he thought, okay, is it brown patch or is it, you know, is it grubs? So he began to pull on it, and it kind of came up a little bit. It's like, okay, because obviously if there's no roots in the ground, it'll pull up easily. So that's the first thing you want to test. Is this fungus? Well, you know, what is this? And if it pulls up, well, then you're going to find them in your dirt in the surrounding areas. Now, obviously, they just show you this is what it looks like when you don't kill them. This is what it would look like when you do. It's going to have good roots, and you're good and treated. The active ingredient, it's this chlorinate, yeah, big word there. You can pronounce it 0.08%, so it must be some potent stuff. There it is. Treats 5,000 square feet. It's 14.3 pound bag. This cost me $20 and some change at my local Walmart. So I went ahead, and actually they only had 3 bags left, and I got the last, I got 2 of them. So on the back, You know, you just got the directions for use, just talking about how you're spreading it. You got a Scott spreader here. It's giving you the spreader settings. For me, I'm just going to lay it down. I don't really take the time to water it in. I'll let the rain do that unless we don't have rain anytime soon, and then I may do it again. And then it's talking about sweeping it off your driveway, and then you're done. That's it. Here's what it says: stop the destructive cycle. You got white grubs, you got caterpillars, you got chinch bug, you've got, and then it's talking about how they turn into the larva of Japanese beetle, larva of crane fly. I see a lot of crane flies in my lawn. I don't know if you guys do. And then it looks like it says, what does that say? Bill bug. Never heard it. Probably have some around. Who knows? And then again, you got a little graph here. Spring grubs come out of the winter hibernation and start to eat your lawn's roots. By late spring, grubs enter the pupa stage to transform into beetles. Summer, adult beetles surface, and then they go and lay eggs. And then fall, you know, they start to eat again, and then they kind of hibernate. So that's the cycle in the graph we had showed you before. So that's pretty much all that's on the bag. Again, one of the things I think that is appropriate that Alan Haynes said, he said, the thing with grubs is if I don't tell you to treat for it, you know, somebody will end up getting it and they'll say, well, Alan, you didn't tell us to treat for grubs, and now my lawn is full of grubs. And he's like, it could be, you know, because some people may have a problem with grubs, some people may not. If I tell you to treat for it, well, then you're like, well, you're just trying to take money out of my pocket. Why are you wasting $20 a bag when I don't have grubs? So it's like, if you feel like you may have this issue, treat for it. I feel like since we found one just recently, it's something that I need to do. I don't have any visible signs in my lawn of anything that looks like it's dying off or fungus or anything of that nature, but I want to prevent. I don't want to have to find some and wonder, okay, is this grubs because I didn't treat? Let's go ahead and prevent it. So with that said, we've got our bag, we've kind of reviewed that, you've seen the active ingredient, and that's the plan. That's one of the preventatives we want to take place. Again, I think it's necessary. You may not, and if not, obviously you can click off this video. But what we're going to do is I need to put a mow on this. It's been almost a week exactly. I've got a lot of grass to cut. We'll throw some clips of cutting the lawn. I don't know which way yet I'm going to cut it, but we're going to do that here in a little bit when it gets a little more daylight and warmer outside. And then we'll definitely spread our GrubEx and get that applied. Let's do the deed. So it is much later in the afternoon after my work hours. The grass is pretty long. I don't know if you guys can tell on film. So about to get the mower out. I'm just gonna run a time lapse in a couple different sections, and then we'll kind of fast forward through it quickly because this is not about mowing, but I figured while we're going down here to the mower, we'll stop over here. I'll show you guys a quick update. I think hosta is the word my wife said for this guy right here, hosta plant. If I squat down, you can see the baby grass continues to grow. It looks a little bit taller than what it was. These other plants that she had planted last year, surprisingly, some of it's coming back. It looks like Willy Wonka type plants, little weirdo things. Some of it looks like weeds to me, and some of it looks like some of her plants from last year. That tree continues to look good. So the update here, it looks like, yeah, there's still baby grass here in the sand areas. It may be hard to see, but it looks really good. So we'll keep you posted. I'm gonna try not to run over it, but yeah, looking good. So there you go. There's the mow. There's some pictures of it just in case we mess it up, because now we're going to get the GrubEx and our spreader, and we're going to go ahead and apply that. Yeah, so sometimes I get comments in the comment section, Mr. Ferguson, why are you going to sit there and put down a granular product and then turn around and mow? Well, because I'm not too concerned. I'd rather, you know, when you do all the lawn striping, you don't want to mess it up when you do all that work. That's what most of this video is, though you're only seeing a couple seconds maybe of the work, and I'm still out of breath of. But man, it looks fantastic when you mow this bad boy. And it's an up and down. It's the easiest one to get this done because we got to use GrubEx. But okay, so caught my breath. Now we're going to go into the GrubEx. We're going to look at the back of the bag real fast, get our settings, and go ahead and spread it throughout the lawn. All right, so we're now ready to get our GrubEx, Scott's GrubEx applied. And if you're keeping score at home, drop spreaders we're setting is 5.5. The Whiz spreader by Scott's is 3 3/4. And so we are going Scott's Broadcast Rotary. So we're going to be at 3.5. All right, so sorry if the footage wasn't great for the throwdown of the GrubEx. Having problems once again with the Scott's Spreader Elite. When I pull the handle, I'm not getting, let's see if I can put you guys down here. I can't see what you guys can see, but when I'm pulling the handle, well, it's doing it now. Now it seems, maybe it was fooling me, but it didn't seem to be opening right. You know, in the beginning when I was having problems, I learned fertilizer can cause it. If you don't spray off your spreader, fertilizer can gunk it up and cause problems. I've been spraying it off. I just sprayed it off again. What I ended up doing was only using one of those bags. It only treats 5,000 square feet. As you know, I have roughly 8,600 square feet, but I ended up spreading that evenly across the whole 8,600 square feet, one bag. I still have one bag remaining. So what I'm going to do is hold on to that other bag. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, some people will say, well, there's no need to treat for grubs, especially if you don't have a grub problem, you're just throwing your money in a hole. But then again, I like to prevent, because we did find one replacing this tree right above my thumb here. And so I think it's smart to at least put something down. So we'll see if it makes a difference or not. We've never had a major grub, you know, outbreak in my lawn or anything like that. Second thing, I definitely have to get my Honda mower blades sharpened. I'm noticing, you know, in the beginning when I had it and they were coming from the factory, it cut every single blade, and the grass was sneaky long this time. I still set my mower to 3.5 inches. We're going to be in the 80s here in Central North Carolina. It's going to be a little hot, the first 80s in a row, and high 70s, 80s, mid 80s. So the grass may be under a little bit of stress, maybe going from, you know, 50, I think it was 58 this weekend, and now we're going to shoot up to 85. So that's North Carolina for you, but it could cause some stress. So I'm anxiously going to be looking at the weather for rain, but also to bump that mower up to 4 inches, because we don't want to put it, you know, you can go 3.5 to 4 with fescue, but the taller, I think, would be better for it. So we may bump it up to 4 before long. And lastly, tune in to the next video, because I think the next thing we're going to do is put down Bifen. I've got tons of those crane flies. The big ones, I think I read, the last time I looked up anything on the crane flies, it said they're not harmful to your lawn. They enjoy nice lawns. Everywhere I walk, they're flying up in my face. They're more annoying than anything. Let me know if you're a veteran of the lawn. Crane flies, can they be harmful, or are they just annoying? Because I'm sick of them flying in my face. So I think we're going to do a spray of Bifen the next video. So tune in for that. It looks like a lot of people enjoyed that comment about Bifen that has ant problems, that's got problems inside. Bifen is rated to work indoor and outdoor, so keep that in mind. So just some of my mow thoughts, some of my spreading thoughts. We've got the GrubEx down, as I mentioned. I'm just going to it's supposed to rain Thursday. We're going to let the natural rain come and water this in. I am starving. I'm going to go in and eat my dinner. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video. I know it's a little bit possibly shorter than the typical ones, but it's, you know, just putting down some GrubEx isn't really good content, but it's something to watch. Well, maybe while you're eating, or got your phone while you're using the bathroom or something, you can watch this lawn care video. Let me know in the comments below if you're doing GrubEx, what your thoughts are on Grubs, what you've learned in your lawn, where you're located. And as always, thank you guys for stopping by the channel. Check out some of my other content here on the left and the right. God bless you. We'll see you on the next lawn care video here from Central North Carolina. Take care.